feed is just C-Dan stuff today.
Yeah. All right, we are live. So, oh, your mic is messing up a bit.
Oh, GM. Wait, let me make sure I'm not on like a fried mic. It looks like I'm on the normal one. Sound okay?
A little bit of background noise, but it's getting better. I need to repost the stream because like something happened since X changed all their like coding around, and their platform, they recoded it apparently in a new language, and now live streams are just like messing up for everybody. So I just need to find the link and repost it.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw some people complaining about Rust plus Python implementation being kind of not that great. I think they rewrote in Rust.
Yeah, and for some reason it completely messed up their
Actually, I'm not sure
live
if it's
streaming.
that, but yeah, they like to break stuff a lot, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Happens.
they definitely move fast and break things. Yeah, it's not showing up on our feed right now, so this is why there's nobody in here. Let me just repost this.
How's this? Is this any better on my mic?
Still hearing some background noise there. Not sure why.
Oh, is it like static?
Yeah, it's static.
Okay. Then this wasn't happening before.
It was not happening when you joined in the background, just when we went live for some reason.
Let me try rejoin, hold on.
All right, got the live stream working at least. Waiting for Chris to rejoin. He was having some mic issues. Let's see if he can get in here.
Hello? How's this?
Welcome back.
Any improvement?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't
Okay,
hear the background
awesome.
noise. And I got the post going, so we got people joining. That's good. Yeah, as I was explaining before, people started joining here. Hey, David, welcome.
GM.
X rewrote their entire code base in Rust or something like that, and then it completely messed up live streaming for everybody. So now live streams aren't getting posted on the timeline, so now we have to manually repost it just so people see that we're live. But I managed to do that this time around, so welcome everybody. Starting to get some people in here now. Welcome, David. Appreciate you joining. If anyone has any like cool topics that they want to talk about, because like AI and crypto is moving so fast right now, throw them into the live chat. Happy to chat about like what people are seeing and thinking about. Yeah, how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing phenomenal, bro. Another day in this world. This year has just been crazy development after crazy development.
Absolutely.
It's been a big year, and it's only February 19th, so there's a lot to look forward to.
Oof, that's a good point. I constantly lose track of time and like what month we're in, and yeah, I can't believe it's only February. It feels like the whole like this year. It feels like the year's like almost done already. It's just so much has happened in such a short period of time.
Yeah, it's definitely warped my perception of time. Like December was when everybody was starting to like find out about Claude Code, and that was like 4.5. That was like,
Yeah,
things were really broken. No one knew what skills were, what was an MCP. Like, Um, and now
Yeah,
here we
fortunately,
are, people running OpenClaw with like fully autonomous agents, self-sustaining some of them. Did you see this guy who made the um he basically got an AI agent to have a wallet on the blockchain and then had like
hmm
an iterative loop of agents where he tried to get like a recursively learning agent that could self-sustain and exist like autonomously on the blockchain, right? Fund its own
yeah,
existence. But
I, I was gonna. That's one of the topics on the agenda here. Yeah, let me pull that up now, just so everyone knows what we're talking about. I'll pull it in, and then we'll get back to some other stuff.
I mean it is crazy, this guy. Apparently he's like a Teal fellow. Um he is a Teal fellow and he is like his account blew up off this post, got like a few million impressions on Twitter. Web 4 he was calling it, so
Yeah,
and then
this is what.
everybody was quote tweeting him.
So yeah, this is what Chris is referring to for everyone that hasn't seen it yet. It's yeah, I mean, like if you take basically OpenClaw and use like these autonomous agents that are kind of basically like running around on their own devices, this kind of takes it a step further. Is my interpretation of it. It takes it a step further where it becomes like no longer human controlled because even the OpenClaw stuff is like human controlled still. Like you still kind of like talk to it, tell it what to do. It still waits for your like instructions basically, but like this takes it one step further and it's like completely autonomous and just like kind of goes off on its own. And if it can't make money, it dies. It's and the interesting thing that I wanted to bring up around this was that like the first thing that it did was like on first boot, it automatically went and set up an Ethereum wallet, which is super cool to see. Like this is like just such a good signal that like AI agents are going to live on the blockchain. AI agents are going to live on probably Ethereum because it is the biggest open decentralized blockchain out there. So yeah, it's just super cool to see. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is definitely pretty cool. I mean, I was reading a lot of different perspectives on this. I mean, some of it may be a little bit overhyped, in terms of the actual ability for it to recursively learn, but just the ability to have a self-sustaining AI instance is already massive, right? Like that is the end goal for a lot of people. I was talking to some people, and it's you're no longer measuring your wealth in like money. It's in compute. That is now the
Yeah.
new form of currency. And
hmm
the more you can have these agents be able to self-sustain, the more compute you have, the more tokens you can have at your disposal. So, if this does work as just an experiment, and we do see these AIs like finding ways to exist on the blockchain, sustain their own existence, then you're kind of in a new paradigm a little bit of
hmm
how things are going to work, I think.
Yeah, super, super interesting. Shout out David for getting in the comments there. He like just to kind of not really sidetrack, but he's wondering like, how are you guys using OpenClaw? We were talking a little bit about this offline before we went live. Um, I, I mean, you can speak for yourself there, Chris, but like currently I'm like not using OpenClaw. I mean, I've done a lot of like research. I use Claude a lot already, but I haven't taken it the step further and set up this OpenClaw yet. The only reason because I haven't found a way that I feel comfortable with yet, security wise. I'm thinking about clearing off like an old laptop and like letting the OpenClaw like go wild on that one. I just want to like set it up properly because like if you're at all involved in crypto and you just you don't want your security to be compromised and like potentially be exposing like private keys and stuff like that. So it's a little bit risky, and then of course like private information and all that also. But like, yeah, how about you, Chris? Like, you haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet too much?
Um, Not so much. I mean, I would highly recommend that people try out OpenClaw. I think it's a really cool thing. And I'm kind of passively watching it and watching people use it. Like I do
Yeah,
intend
me
to
too.
start using it. I think the thing that you have to consider is that there's still not a great solution to prompt injections. So when your AI is just, going through its exploring the internet, trying to like solve the tasks that you give it, um, it can accidentally use compromised software, it can use compromised tooling, it can get prompt injected through all these different ways to do something that would be a security harm for you, whether that's leaking your API keys, whether that's leaking your private info, leaking whatever. You really have to be very, like, have really good OPSEC if you're gonna try to use something like this, and kind of just
Mhm.
give it its own like identity and accounts for everything probably. So
Yeah,
you got to be very
completely
careful.
agree.
But it
Yeah,
is really cool.
it's really cool, and I believe it is the future. I think everyone's going to be like, like, kind of like has to fire up these autonomous agents in the future because they're going to be able to go around and generate like revenue, passive income, that sort of stuff for people. I think that's going to be like a good income stream for people in the future. And like hint, hint, like we've been talking about that a little bit. Definitely encourage everybody. I'm gonna pull this up also, like encourage everyone to go check out the last live stream. No, not the last, the one before that. We did a community call with David, our founder, and it was, let me just pull that up here. Yeah, this one here. Oh, anyways, yeah, it's the Super Chat live community call number 2. I definitely encourage everyone to go check that one out because we talk a little bit about like how we're thinking about that, how we're thinking about OpenClaw, how we're thinking about AI agents, and David goes on a good rant there, and then kind of gives a little sneak peek into the super side quests that we have coming up. The first one potentially being something around. I think the teaser was like get your AI agents ready to like start earning. So yeah, I think that's. Oh, yeah, you're getting a little mic feedback again there.
Oh, my bad.
Maybe you have
Um,
like something close or something that's interfering. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, the super side quests are going to be like very, very interesting and something to look forward to. So yeah, stay tuned for more on that. Go check out this community call in the meantime. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're planning on staying on the frontier of all this stuff. So, if you do, we're going to integrate a bunch of stuff for vibe coders for AI agents into our platform, and we're going to be talking about, updates as to what's going on with AI world and crypto integrations, and what that might mean for the markets as well. So, good place to stay tuned if you're curious about these things. Will be here with us.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a great point. If anyone like if you are interested in AI and crypto and how they merge together, like this is the place to be. Keep following us on this live stream journey. We might even be adding in more live streams that once this new side quest launches with some cool AI guests and different things like that. So yeah, stay tuned. We have this is definitely the place to be. Where I know like our whole team, like from David to you and I and the whole tech team were all like completely in on this AI like frontier. So like we're deep in the weeds. So if you want to learn from what we're learning, definitely stay tuned. I agree. On that front, I wanted to get into like a little bit. I guess the theme of today's live stream is like how the basically how the crypto and AI worlds are starting to merge. We've talked about this, we theorized about this, like for many, many live streams, like going weeks and weeks back. But it's like starting to happen. OpenAI had a big announcement yesterday. They just introduced this new EVM bench in partnership with Paradigm, which is like a huge venture firm in the crypto space. Um, so basically, this EVM bench is going to be potentially a new standard for smart contracts and allows like sets a benchmark for like which AI agents can properly secure smart contracts and different crypto tokens and different things like that. And I don't know, potentially could help a lot with like this exploit problem that is happening. And David spoke to that a little bit too. He thinks that there's going to be like potentially a lot more exploits happening this year. So this is why we are like taking security like super super seriously with our audits for the upcoming supermarket launch. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this announcement, Chris?
I mean, this is first of all a really cool integration to see. Like, I'm really happy to see these big VCs that are super crypto native like doing this with OpenAI, a name as big as OpenAI, because that also begins to kind of um, normalize crypto as a really important vehicle for these companies to work with. Um, yeah, this was always going to happen, right? I think one of the first things that AI was always going to touch is like security economy online. Um, People want to be secure with the software and the products that they have available. People are always trying to break those things for their own incentives. There's a huge economy there for people who can help give security individually, independently. And this was always going to be one of the first things that people were going to develop when AIs got good enough because it's a good way to fund your agent, you know, if you can just manually find these bugs and farm some of these bug bounties, you have like a good revenue source
Hmm.
that you don't have to do way too much to actually obtain. So, yeah, security firms were always going to be really deep into this from the start. Um, and I'm glad to see some of the big security firm names in crypto contributing to these AI projects a lot. Like Trail of Bits has like a really good skills repo that you can
Hmm.
use to improve the way that you code with Claude. So they're on top of their stuff for security, I'm sure, and using these tools effectively and having protective measures against people who are going to use them to attack their stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, it's really great that they set this up because, like, yeah, the more stuff we build at such a rapid pace here, the more exploits that open up. So if we can have like this, like the state of the art AI kind of checking for these exploits and making sure that they're not exploitable, I mean, they're the ones to check for this stuff because they can work so much faster than us. So, yeah, it's cool that they can kind of hopefully set this new benchmark and keep everyone safe. So, and like I think the big headline here is that like OpenAI AI is like kind of like admitting or agreeing that like crypto is going to be kind of the rails for these AI agents and the AI future. So yeah, it's cool that they're helping out and to help make that those rails a lot safer. So yeah, cool to see. And then there's like just more proof of this AI crypto merger happening with like, and this is a cool thing I seen. Like this Gabriel guy asked his Claude bot to send a letter to himself in the mail, and he actually like figured out how to do it. Like he gave him obviously a crypto wallet, some USDC, and he like went on the website, figured it out, and like there like it's just super cool to see like these AI agents are online and they're starting to interact with the real world. Like we talked about on the last live stream, there's like different things like rent a human now, where these AI agents can like rent humans to go do tasks for them in the real world. So yeah, it's super interesting.
No, it is crazy. And this happened so fast. Man, I remember talking to people last year about AI predictions, like, oh, when are we gonna get like really good tools? Oh, it's gonna be a few years. There's no way. And then
Yeah.
now we're here a few months later, and it's just like you have social media for AI, you have Rent a Human, you have agents that are like totally autonomous, doing all this stuff, interacting with the real world. Um, and these companies are integrating into everything. You know, Anthropic and OpenAI are just everywhere right now on the internet. So yeah,
Yeah.
the internet itself is changing as well. This is something that people will probably like notice a lot more in the coming months, but the nature of how the internet works, who's interacting, um, how people interact with the internet is going to change. The demographic of people taking actions on the internet is going to change. Um, so it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting a lot more AI centric. I think, yeah, if people haven't already kind of noticed that, like everything is moving towards like CLI and like the new thing that Google released for Chrome, where it's like a web MCP or whatever
Hmm.
it's called. where like it's just like everything is being built now for AI agents. Like people realize that the AI agent like marketplace, the economy is going to be so much larger than the human economy, which is like kind of like sad, but like exciting and interesting at the same time. But like yeah, everyone's going to start tailoring everything towards AI agents. Like I know that we're doing that. I know we're thinking about like those things for the supermarket and just allowing AI agents to interact with it directly. Like AI agents don't like go on a website and like click things. Like they're not very good at that sort of stuff. We need to like set up like a different interface for them so that they can interact with it more seamlessly, like a user would, but in an AI agent way. So these are things that we're thinking about, and I know many other projects, at least the ones that are probably going to be successful in the future, are thinking about and going all in on these tools and features. So yeah, it's going to be super interesting. But yeah, like what are your thoughts on like the fact that like yeah, everything is going to be kind of tailored, like businesses, projects, everything is starting to be like just tailored towards AI agents and not so much humans anymore. Like it's like where does this all lead?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big change, and it's going to creep up on people before they even realize. Like the rate of change is super high. Most people are still completely out of the loop. I would say like 99% of people have no idea about any of this stuff. Even if you're into software, into crypto, and or into like the internet, internet business models, a small percentage of those people are the people like developing this stuff right now. Plus, the big companies are going crazy over these things. So,
Yeah.
I think you'll just see this huge shock for people in the next few months as the way that they kind of interact with things change, and the incentive goes from companies caring about the user maximally to caring about how agents are interacting with their products maximally. So,
Mhm.
and I'm sure at the end of the day, all these companies are going to build interface layers that are much simpler for for like the end user. That is me and you. We're not going to have to be clicking buttons on their website anymore and like knowing information and remembering stuff. We're just going to be like, hey, I want this to happen, and it just happens.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been thinking about this. I always try to think like, okay, from first principles, like how is this like gonna function and like where is this all leading? And like I was thinking about this and I'm like, there might be a future where like the internet as we know it right now like won't even exist. Like it just there's really no point for like websites to exist for humans. Like it might just be like an invisible internet that's in the cloud that it's just for AI agents, and you just like purpose everything towards like AI agents like discovering your products and different things like that, but you don't need to set up a visual interface for like humans, like because people are just going to chat with the AI anyway. So you just talk with the AI and hope that the AI recommends you and like browses your like CLI interface and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's a very weird like thought experiment that I went through, but I think that that could be like an actual thing that happens in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna just be like databases and then API endpoints. That's it. That's
Yeah,
that's the entire
exactly.
internet. And then, maybe an AI will be like, "Hey, I can make money from a social media. I'm gonna build a social media platform for humans so they can just have fun." But, no one cares about what's actually going on behind the scenes. So,
Yeah, I mean that's where it goes. Yeah, and then start AI starts building stuff for humans, like starts treating us like pets, and they're like, okay, got to keep my pets entertained, so here's some stuff for them to do.
yeah,
Ah, weird future we're going
for
into.
sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's there's like people talk about like the dark web and then like the surface level, normal web everybody's on. But now we're gonna have agent web, and that's gonna be by far the biggest part of the internet. Um, and there's interesting stuff to that as well. Like apparently a lot of these big companies like Google are trying to build payment infrastructure for these agents. So it's like a general interface layer and a payments layer. I guess competing with crypto a little bit. But
Yeah,
I don't know if they
I,
integrate crypto. They probably might to build this layer,
I
but yeah,
no, I was just gonna say like I think like yeah, I seen some of these like big companies. Like, I mean, they kind of have to like the banks and these big tech companies like that are like Web 2 focused. Like they kind of have to try to keep their monopoly But I think in the end, it's going to be like futile. Like crypto is going to win this. It's just it's way faster. It's way cheaper. Like big like huge companies with all these operating expenses, they just cannot compete with like decentralized protocols that live online and aren't taking like these huge fee cuts. And I don't know, I think in the end like crypto's definitely going to win. I don't have any doubt about that. So I think it's kind of useless like for all these big companies to try to build these like payment and infrastructure for agents. It's very clear that the agents are using like USDC on the blockchain, and like they're going to use other stable coins, and they're going to like I think they're going to all land on Ethereum. Like, yet to be seen, but like it's looking like that. So yeah, I think the future is definitely crypto and AI, and I think that's the only way AI scales. So yeah, that's my thoughts anyway.
Yeah, yeah, I tend to agree. It's just gonna be really interesting to see how things develop. Like, one thing I'm building right now is literally like a future like um profit agent right now that just can look and try to like make predictions about what's gonna happen, in terms of
Interesting.
AI development, in terms of like maybe even politics, in terms of like social movements, because you already see a few of these things playing out. So far we've had a lot of AI development stuff, but we haven't really seen the social effects of this stuff so much yet,
Hmm.
besides people on the internet becoming extremely radicalized in either direction. So I don't know how much you've seen
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
but
No, go ahead.
there's a growing anti-AI sentiment coming out from people
Yeah.
that I wasn't really expecting, but now that I think about it, I kind of understand it more. I think one thing that people are going to start to become very political about is AI,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and unfortunate, which, you know, because
Yeah.
I think we're in this like state right now where we can all just enjoy AI, and we can build stuff, we can talk about what we're building, and no one really cares, because no one really understands it and no one's like threatened by it. But the
Mhm.
moment that these tools start to like create the social change and people start to feel the social change, we're gonna see like a mass like social pressuring, social movement that will happen soon, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
absolutely.
And this is going to become the most political topic probably in the world, in the US, I would guess.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, I tend to agree. Like, unfortunately, like everything ends up becoming politicized because politics just have so much power over society. Um, which is also unfortunate. I think eventually that unwinds a little bit as like the fiat system fails and governments like kind of lose their control to actual like sovereign money like crypto, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, that sort of stuff. Once one of those or multiple ones kind of take over the monetary system, like and fiat kind of falls apart, and uh, governments lose their power, I think things less become less politicized. But like until that happens, yeah, unfortunately, things become politicized. Like they did the same thing with crypto. It should be a bipartisan thing, but like unfortunately, like they try to take opposite views because the fear mongering, that's what gets votes. So it's unfortunate, but
right.
yeah, I mean, there's going to be a thing around like UBI and like I hopefully that's like a bipartisan thing. Like everybody should be able to agree that like there's going to have to be like some sort of like I guess some people are saying like universal high income or universal basic income. Um, and I think that's going to be like the ultimate collapse of the fiat dollars because how do you fund that? Like you can't do it through taxes when people are earning less income, and it's going to be a disaster. But um, I hope that eventually we can figure out a sustainable way to do everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard for me to envision like the US government legislating this topic at any possible speed, even effectively, and then to try and
Yeah,
even imagine at AI development speed, is impossible. So it's going to be really, really weird to see how this develops in the US.
Hmm.
Every country wants this. Every country wants this. The only people who don't want this is, it seems like, citizens who might, you know, get displaced by the technology, right? So, you lose your identity maybe from your work, you lose your value to society, you lose some like psychological goods maybe, because this comes in and takes over a lot of the things that you would normally do. Now, it doesn't need to be this way, but I think for sure rhetorically, like, this is how people are gonna sell, anti-AI hate. Um,
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
oh, and this is kind of how we're seeing, it's like, oh, evil Silicon Valley is exploiting the average person again, using AI tools, trying to do integrations, and ruining the world and just being maximally greedy. But it's like, guys, this is like, there is no tool in the history of the earth that will give you more economic abundance, medical progress, like better
Yeah,
education, better, systems than this. So
yeah,
it's
it's
been,
massively deflationary. Like in the end, like the cost of everything is going to be driven to near zero. Like you're going to be able to like get everything you need to survive as a human for like near zero cost. So eventually everything is going to be like very utopian in that way, but I think the transition period until we get there is going to be a little bit weird. And there's going to have to be like some sort of transitionary like ubi or something like that to help people out to get to that end state. But yeah, and then like there's going to be some sort of like philosophical like crisis where people are going to have to redefine like meaning in life and purpose. And we're getting really deep on this live stream now, but like it's the truth
yeah.
because yeah, like if you can't define yourself like with like your work or different things like that, then you have to find other things to like define your purpose. So yeah, hopefully many people find that in other ways. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really interesting because objectively, like, there is going to be an unbelievable amount of good that and quality of life improvements that everybody will get from this, expecting huge economic abundance, huge progress in terms of medical treatments that people are able to get, in terms of what we understand about the human body, what we understand about like governance systems, what we understand about like efficiency of capital. All this stuff will improve massively. But the net negative is that there's a lot of psychological like costs where
Hmm.
your like societal system, like architecture, kind of changes, and classes kind of change, and people hate that. People
Yeah, yeah,
hate
yeah. This
to
is
be like, oh, well, I've worked my entire life to get into this like position and feel valuable and all that, and then it's just gone. And
yeah,
even at the cost, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would enjoy if they got to live longer, more healthily, got to do more stuff that they want to do. But at the same time, in terms of personal psychology, people really love being better than other people.
yeah.
And
It's a human thing. Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna
getting
it's
value.
gonna be
So
interesting. I mean, Naval posted something about like AI anxiety is real. Right now, it's like the top at like 1% that are involved in the actual technology that are feeling it, but like that's going to trickle down and affect everyone eventually. And yeah, I think this stuff is going to happen very fast. Like we were kind of talking about at the start of the live stream, like it just like in December, I think it was, you said like Opus
hmm
4.5 came out, and then now we're like, oh, and now we're at 4.6, and like everything's changed on the coding front, everything's changed on the video front, everything's changed on the design front, and it's just like it's going to start to like rapidly expand very fast, and like I think it starts to hit the mainstream once like stuff like this. I want to bring up like this AI doc is coming out. They interviewed like a bunch of like, I mean,
Oh, I
every
see
top of
this.
every,
Yeah,
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 it
yeah.
looks super interesting. This is coming out into theaters in March 27th, and like this could be like that kind of snowball moment when like it actually starts to get into the average person's minds. Like, oh, this is like real. This is happening. This is coming fast. So I think that things could start developing at a even more rapid pace, like we talked about last week. Also, like with the AI, like the self recursive improvement or whatever that's happening. Also, where AI is starting to code itself and code its future versions. So it's once that starts happening, then things just start snowballing, and you hit that like big curve up. So yeah, the world's going to be weird. We have to like, yeah, governments aren't going to be able to iterate fast enough or legislate fast enough, like you said. So like my, I guess, hot prediction would be that like network states start popping up really fast here. People are going to start like separating themselves into network states based on their ideologies, and network states are going to be like the thing that kind of takes over governments, in the future, and
Yeah.
they're gonna like develop their own like self-sustaining economies with, and people are gonna join different network states and align themselves with network states, and that's my kind of hot prediction, that a big trend that's coming in the future.
Yeah. I had this exact conversation a few days ago with somebody, and that's definitely, I think, where it's gonna go. Like these agent network states, every
Exactly.
and it doesn't really have to be, because a lot of the way that like geopolitics is now, you have countries, you have constitutions, you have nations, and you have ethnic groups, and they all kind of politic for their own well-being and power, but ultimately that's going to change fundamentally. Your agents will be able to do what you do as a nation state way more efficiently, way more effectively, and having agents that are aligned with your values, aligned with your goals for the future is going to be the way that politics works probably. Um,
Hmm.
and letting them actually be the action takers will probably be the way that things play out. So yeah, find
Yeah,
people who
completely
you're
agree.
value aligned with, man. I think now is
Yeah,
the time
agreed.
more than ever to really build these groups, because it's gonna start changing way faster.
Completely agree. I'm very grateful that we have a great crew here at the Super Seed team, and yeah, like we're at the forefront of this stuff, and yeah, it's gonna be exciting times ahead. Like we have a lot of interesting stuff coming out. I'm super excited about the direction that we're going, and yeah, and the team that we're building it with. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It is gonna be a very interesting time. So
Sorry, one last topic, and then this is the last thing I had on my agenda here. If you have anything else, feel free to bring it up here. But I thought this was super interesting, also just on the AI front. Um, for the first time in history, Soldier Boy like basically sold their voice, sold the rights to like his identity, I guess you could say,
his
to
IP
this.
maybe.
Yeah, like his intellectual property, exactly. Yeah, like basically he sold his voice to this blonde company, and now like Soldier AI is going to be available to anyone that wants it. I guess you can pay for it, or you can use it in your call centers. You can use it you can like get Soldier Boy to call people. You can use it in the call center industry. You can use it for whatever you want. But like it's super weird. Like I guess this is going to start happening a lot more, especially with artists, because like they have very distinguished like brands with their identity and voices, and like it's like another way for them to kind of make money off their personal brand, because eventually they're gonna like lose their personal brand, like with what's happening with seed dance and stuff like that. um like you can basically just like make videos of celebrities saying and doing whatever you want, so they're kind of losing control over their kind of identities and IP. So this is a way
Yeah.
for them to like profit off it, I guess. I think it's going to happen a
I
lot more.
Yeah, this is a really interesting topic as well. And it's so mind-boggling that Soldier Boy is the first like pioneer doing this because I think Ben Affleck and Matt Damon went on to Joe Rogan a few weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, and they were kind of talking about how AI was not really going to replace Hollywood, but they were still like really interested in it. And they gave a decent take, but the idea was that like, oh, we won't get replaced.
Yeah.
Um,
And then
it's
seed dance.
yeah, C-Dance just completely nuked it. And from what the discourse kind of was online, it's really stupid for these people to be against themselves being, made in AI, because ultimately, like, think of yourself as a brand.
Hmm.
Maybe you can't monetize every instance of yourself being used, but you certainly like inflect yourself into the minds of people. You become much
Hmm.
more recognizable if, you're being shown constantly, and you don't necessarily have to do the monetizing on everything, but you just have to do monetization somewhere, and
Yeah,
just being culturally relevant, and being like constantly showing up in AI media and AI content.
yeah. It only
y-
builds your brand. Yeah, I
It
agree.
only builds your brand, and if you're against something like this, you're just going against your own interests for no purpose, really. I don't
Hmm.
see why you would do that. Um,
I mean, this is like a Napster moment all over again. Like the same thing happened when Napster came out, and then all these big like musicians like tried to go against it, and like it just like hurt their brand in the end. Like you have to embrace these new technologies, and yeah, it's hilarious that Soldier Boy is the first, but like to his credit, he has been like pretty at the forefront of technology. Like he was like one of the first adopters of crypto, also. Not probably not in the best way. I don't even remember what he did, and I think he launched his own token like 6 years ago or something like that. But like, yeah, he's always been at the forefront of this technology, which like props to him. So, but yeah, I think this is going to happen a lot more, and I completely agree. Like, uh, you need to make yourself into a meme, basically, if you want your brand to expand.
yeah, no, for sure. I think a lot of these institutions are so scared because they haven't really thought through the implications. But if I was an actor, well renowned, the thing I would be doing right now most is just trying to get as much AI content about me as possible.
Yeah,
That would be my first priority, because that's how you stay culturally relevant, and that is the currency for these people. That is how they make money. So yeah, it's
absolutely,
crazy to see them have like a fundamental misconception about how this works, but
completely agree. Anyways, that
yeah.
was basically all it on my end. And just to kind of wrap things up, like once again, super excited about the future of Superseed here, and like what we're all doing to like integrate with these AI agents, and some of these side quests that we have coming out are going to be like a lot of fun. So as David said in the community call, get your AI agents ready, ready to start making some money. Um, so yeah, I know like you and I are like trying to find ways to set up our OpenClaw agents now. Yeah, definitely experiment with that, but be very careful with the security, the OPSEC around that, like you were talking about. But yeah, exciting times ahead, and yeah, stay tuned. Like you said, stay tuned to these live streams because we're gonna keep you ahead of all this the stuff that's happening every week. You and I are like deep into the stuff. You're very deep into the AI stuff. So we're going to keep you in tune with everything that we're learning. uh, Everything moves fast, so keep tuning in.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah, there's seemingly also not that much content. I'm really surprised from people who are just as on the frontier as they can be, you know.
Hmm.
So Superseed is a good place to get updated about stuff.
Exactly. Stay tuned for more on that front. Anyways, thanks again for everyone that came out, and yeah, we'll see you next week. See you, Chris.
Yeah, see you guys. Take care. Stay
Bye
safe.
bye. Stay safe out there.